now to Israel Advocacy. The World Jewish Diplomatic Corps, a program of the World Jewish Congress, engages young leaders in diplomatic advocacy to address the needs of diaspora Jewry. IBA's Ellie Wagalanter attended their recent conference here in Jerusalem and asked the director and the diplomats how they saw their role in advocating for Israel.
The World Jewish Diplomatic Corps is intended for high-caliber young professionals. They're being carefully selected together with the elected leadership of the Jewish communities around the world. And therefore, they are coming with set skills that they acquired already. We're just putting them to work after they have finished their university years, so they have different professions and families, etc. But we enable their participation in those forums.
The purpose of the Diplomatic Corps is to access a sort of a target demographic that hasn't been accessed previously, which is a sort of young professional Jews. You know, you access them with birthright and you access them later on through fundraising and philanthropy, but sort of an area that was lacking. And so I think the WJDC is very, very helpful in that regard, engages young Jews, particularly at a time when you're seeing schisms in the young Jewish population in America and elsewhere. And so it's a critical time for that.
How do you approach people who don't like Israel? What do you say to people who just don't like?
I don't approach people who like Israel. I don't approach people who doesn't like Israel, because I don't waste my time. I approach people in between. And approaching people in between is to talk about issues that sometimes they are not related to Israel or with the Jewish people. And you just need to get their trust, and that's it. I'm not saying that I'm going to get a 100% full support of Israel, but if I need him for a specific act or event or something that he can make good for us, I'll have it. I'll have him or her.
One of my roles is to bring the Israeli perspective and to focus a lot of my work on Israel, but also on the links between Israel and Europe, which is one of the things that interests me a lot in terms of the future. I think that the U.S.-Israel relation is very important, but we cannot forget Europe, and it's very complex. It's very difficult. Switzerland, just as a country, we're not really part of the European Union. Just Switzerland as a country is so complex to understand. Every community functions in a very different way, and understanding how to link Israel and Europe is something that's very important to me.
You worked on a number of projects as a member of the Diplomatic Corps, for example, the Durban Conference. Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. That was a fascinating experience. It was really the first time, as far as I know, that all the Jewish organizations managed to collaborate and to work together in order to achieve very impressive results in terms of how the whole conference was seen from the outside and from the inside.
What specifically?
The influence we had on collaborations with different NGOs that are not Jewish-oriented, collaborating with them on human rights, redefining how the press saw the event, giving them the right information, being out there. Also as a young diplomat, showing that we managed to make a difference as well by talking to people, again, from either official delegations or NGOs. We were very present, very active.